please.
Solo cast? Solo cast
Did he
today?
die?
Can someone please
It's my
just
time.
take the headset?
Oh!
Coming in.
He's
Jake's
coming.
casting?
Jake and
He
Jack.
subbed it.
Jake
Oh,
and
wow.
Jack.
Who's
Shake and check,
Costa?
shake
The
and check,
desk,
shake and
he
check.
abandoned.
Does that mean we get
cast
Costa
is now
back? Do we get Costa back?
No.
I love that.
Yeah, he's flying back from Japan right now.
Give us Costa back.
Right now.
I want Costa back.
Not
You
until
talking
Vegas
smack
return.
over there? You're off camera. You're not supposed to talk anymore, guys.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, wait, they put you on again.
You're director again now. Oh my
No, I'm
god.
just talking smack to John.
Look, Custer's abandoned 2 different positions in the Overwatch League already.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's
3
done.
if you count as a player.
He's
so
out.
He's out. He's done. That was his last chance. He
No
might
more.
be on a wonderful
I think he's
honeymoon
got
right
a
now.
pretty
But
good excuse. You know, having a wife and all is a little
that
complicated
is
things.
a pretty good excuse. And he's in Japan, so that's pretty wicked. So yeah, there you go. But Jake, thank you for joining me.
Hey,
I
happy to be here,
appreciate
man. I'm excited to cast, actually. First cast this season.
Yeah,
I'm glad to
actually.
be back.
Hell yeah. Well, we got a fun game to get into in just a moment. Please, Jake.
Do you?
like,
who would you
please.
pred? Who would you? We
Look,
saw my pred.
I saw your pred. I want to pred.
I almost went for the shock, but I just, you know what? My heart
no,
spoke to me.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm going for Titans.
All right,
Easy
let's
game.
go.
Look,
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just so conflicted with the shock now, and I think the rest of the community are as well, and that's the big problem over the last few weeks. How and when do shock perform? And pressure makes diamonds, Jake. It does.
It
and
does.
we
Shock
are
have
in a
been clutch.
situation now where they need to make it through this bracket in order to actually make it to the mid-season madness.
I'm liking what I'm seeing on the player cams. Vancouver, they're smiling, they're talking to each other. That's what you want to see in this. It's a high pressure match, but this is a team. All these guys, they're used to having their backs against the wall. It's not going to be a crazy situation for them. But I agree. I don't think Shock are going to go down easy. They've shown like real composure in clutch fights, but then somehow it's like the easier, more straightforward situations where they're not taking the tempo, they're not controlling the game.
Right. So that's what you want to see. Just control the tempo, get back into it. I mean, the shock. And what's crazy about this roster too, you're looking at Proper as almost like a veteran right now on this team. There's so many rookies with him. Of course, Finn's there too, but Proper's the person you kind of look towards to.
But these are, I mean, they're
control
second-year
these
players.
fights.
We could call them vets, but
Sure,
there's
yeah.
a big difference between a player who's been around,
proper vet.
you know, 3, 4, 5 seasons versus somebody second season, right? Like, you know, you're not just a rookie, then you're a veteran.
I mean,
like,
Crimson
linguistically.
is the vet, right?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
comparison.
But we got Punk, we got Faith.
Yeah.
Both those guys, the back line of this team has been around for a very long time. And Shock is playing the wrist.
Oh, yes.
Oh, whoa.
Wait, what is this back
They are.
line?
This is a play for fun. Mode to play for fun.
Okay. I mean, we've seen Violet a little bit actually play with the Moira, but a Moira with the Orisa?
I don't hate the Murakiriko. We saw Outlaws bring this out previously, and they're going to wait for the point to open and just try to hold the point with this Orisa comp. That's the strategy here. Vancouver aren't really specialized against this. It could be hard.
Spear's been already using the wall to block off some damage, and point trying to be controlled here by Jumpin. It has been unlocked. I want to see where Sugarfree tries to make his move here, because it's going to be tough to assassinate this backline already, but nice spear. Hit the Kiriko though, so all good. You can just TP straight back, and well, it's just going to be a bit of a slugfest until someone falls down. Punk using that shout to keep himself healthy, but it will be the shock hunkering down on the point, Jake.
There's so much pressure on Punk. Junman is
He's
forced
low.
to fortify though. He's in trouble. Cleanse used.
Good cleanse and the shift, and now Sugarfree hitting the recall. Okay, doesn't want to mess with the backline too much here. He's going to have to wait before he goes back in again, but Proper actually takes him out. 4-on-5 scenario now as the Titans try to make it even, but Proper's making it so hard for him to actually step on the point as Punk gets speared, hit into the wall. Proper helps Hisang finish him off, and that'll be a reset for the Titans.
A classic cockroach comp. You know, I'm a fan on Well. It's a comp that's kind of hard to deal with because there's not great angles to shoot down into the point. There's all these little corners for everyone. You know, you pop your skill and then you reset in the corner and somebody else takes your place. And it really just takes that one slip up from Sugarfree to lose Titans the fight.
Yeah, well, he's got post spawn coming up, but the
who are you
amount
pulsing?
of
Literally,
exactly.
who are you pulsing?
Ice block, there's a fade, there's a shift from Jumpin, fade from Finn, and Finn Dive's also got a Suzu to save anybody. Well, there's the Cole, pulses up in a couple of percent, and you can fade in Cole now, so that's pretty sick. And Sugarfree goes down to Hisang, and this is the shock just hunkering down. I mean, it's pretty tough for the Vancouver Titans, anybody to get any value, although I say that, and Aspire proves me wrong real quick by killing Jumpin. There will be 2 rushes coming out on the field too, as Proper working his way to that Death Blossom. A sound barrier to see the Titans through this fight, but Proper's just going to hold this corner. How do the Titans actually get onto this point? Aspire's got the overclock, but a Blizzard is going to separate the Titans once again, as Aspire's just free-firing into the huddled mass that is Shock on the point. This overclock at least did something, a lot more than I thought it would, as finally they eradicate the Shock.
Yeah, this is a tough fight to win, and Shock, they're stalling really well here. Gonna get almost the last fight territory, but I do think Vancouver It's going to be close. Honestly, if Shock reflips, there might not be a retake for Titans. 91% is a lot.
Yeah, they burn a lot of ultimates coming out from the Shock, though, so you're not feeling too bad if you're Titans. Maybe take a quick fight here with the Raman Troll.
Yeah, you want to get it out. At the same time, though, I mean, this is going to be hard for, I think, Shock to really force the issue too much. Punk's going to be able to hold the point much more effectively on the Ramatra than he was able to on the Queen, so it could be a little bit harder for Reaper. You know, he's shooting the Ramatra in the face when he's blocking. Feels pretty terrible.
Terra Surge available from Jump In too. Oh, hello Punk. Already taken to half HP. Still got Nemesis form though, so he should be good. There it is, it's been popped. And Finn gets taken out by Sugar Free of all people. The Shock comp pretty hard to lock down, but Sugar Free does his best and he succeeds with it. There's the Terra Surge, grabbing people in, and proper straight on top of that. A nice little wombo combo and a javelin from downtown. As Punk is using his own ultimate here, the Annihilation doing a fair bit of work, but Jumpin refusing to fall. That shift is just so powerful, as Punk almost doing negative damage at this point. A beautiful wall from Heesang is going to isolate Punk, and they do take him out. And with a Blizzard online for the San Francisco Shock, Vancouver Titans have no say in this fight whatsoever.
That should just be the round right here, Jack. I don't see any way. I mean, the beat is there for Faith, but it's going to be such a desperation fight. There's so many ults coming up for Shock.
It only hits 3 as well, Jake, and the Shock, they're going to have a rush, they're going to have a call as long as Finn stays alive. They even have the Blizzard. Faith's already dead, and now the Titans are trickling on the point. I mean, nice cancellation of the call, but I think that's about it. Yeah, just Blizzard is just a cherry on the top for San Francisco Shock, and a decent round. Unorthodox comp, but hey, made it work.
You know what? I like this tricky play coming out from Shock. I think this is not what we've seen in the past from this team. Their core identity, I think, as a franchise, has really all been about, we're going to just mirror match you and just be better at the game than you. We're going to just out DPS you, outplay you with our mechanics. But this is a very different look from Shock than we've seen before. This is like, we're going to come in with a weird strategy, try and counter you out. Something we normally see from weaker teams in the league, but honestly, I respect that Shock is able to accept that, like, okay, we're struggling right now. We need to come out with a weird cheese here. Take them off guard.
I mean, Punk has nothing to say in this one. Completely muted by Heesang. I mean, it's tough. An unorthodox comp can throw even some of the better teams off their game. Nice little ice cream too by Heesang. Good stuff.
Vancouver running the Diva versus Winston here.
Yeah,
Heesang's Echo has been really strong, but this is a very hard comp to play Echo against.
It really is. I mean, you've got to be afraid of getting hacked, but also a lot of your damage is getting eaten too, even on the entry. Those sticky bombs do a fair bit if they actually land, but Punk can swallow them up with the defense matrix. Staying permanently harassed too. These Finn's got some range, I suppose, and you can obviously throw a pack at Heesang, but still tough to actually make any damage stick as the point unlocks. Oh my god!
What a sick
Punk didn't even see that. At least he does trade. Punk,
oh my god.
He might be off the map. Vindime with a boot. Massive flail from Vindime just sends Punk flying off the map. No thrusters as he already used those to take down Heesang. Beautiful stuff and nice bit of ult charge too.
Yeah, that's a great fight. I mean, Heesang, the two-tap on Aspire. I feel like, I mean, that's almost what he has to do. I think this is, Heesang's a monster on the Echo though, so maybe he can make this work.
I mean, the copy is also pretty deadly. It's not latest copy either. We're not on that patch just yet, the JQ patch. So it's old Echo right now. Crimzo's trying to sit pretty at the back in the back line right now with Faith. Taking a little bit of damage, is he saying right now, from Crimzo of all people, but that bubble's going to actually stop a lot of heals coming through onto Punk. But that's all about Jumpin can do right now, just isolate the supports and hopefully have his frontliners clear up the rest. Punk has been demeched, but Jumpin does end up going down.
Tank for tank. I can't help but feel this favors the Titans. Summer Tracer aren't going to need their tank nearly as much. Proper, see if he has something to say about it though.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb available in just a couple of percentage points, but I mean, Shock are more than happy right now just to stall this one out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Vancouver have the impetus to really pressure into the point. TP broken, see if that cost Sugar Free his life. He's getting saved though.
Dude's got X-ray specs. Like, what was that?
Great. I did not see
like
that.
TP from a mile away. Good stuff from Proper. Doesn't punch Sugar Free just yet. There's the Nano. EMP though from Sugar Free. He's trying to set up, but is there the dive to go with it? That's the question. I mean, Punk's right next to him. EMP straight onto Vindime, but the peel is good. Finn helps save Vindime for a brief moment, but an anti-nade from downtown from Crimzo eventually takes him out. Shock in a similar situation as last map, Jake, though, with almost last fight for them, 72%.
Yeah, I think though this is a very comfortable recontest for Titans should they lose it. And honestly, I think for Shock, now the real test, they're gonna have to dive backline. Jumpin's already going in though. This is very aggressive. He's gonna get punished for this, I would think.
Yeah, you'd think, but he has got an extra leap, goes up to high ground again, pretty low, pops the primal in fact. Okay, what can he get really done with this? Okay, not much. He's hacked, and he's not having a good time.
Someone's got a whole point though. Okay, Punk's here. And Nano's available for Crimzo right here.
Yeah, Problem's also got a pulse bomb. Beautiful stick on the Faith, but it's all good. Shield up, block the stick, and no dead Faith. Means he can get the rally off. He do be swinging away. As that self-destruct, it's a copy one from Hisang. Doesn't find too much damage.
God,
it just stalls out this point for a little bit longer. So Shock end up finding the flip there. Faith can't help Crimzo. He's asleep. Crimzo dies. And now Shock looking at final fight for this map.
Yeah, you know, Vancouver tried to dive in, tried to pick up some backliners, but it just didn't come to fruition. And Nano's almost up for Finn. That could be all you need, really. I mean, you have point control here for Shock. All you need to do is pick off one of these backliners, keep Hisang alive, and eventually he will clean this up. Only Diva Bomb to use for the Titans, and I mean, it's just hard to say how valuable that really will be. It's easy to kill Punk in his Baby Diva form, especially on the point.
Nice hack. Okay, no follow-up, and still Vindime through a pack at Hisang there. And this pulse bomb from Aspire's got to go pretty big too. It's a lot of damage on Sugar Free. Teleports away, so the sticky bombs fall to the floor. Speaking of pulse bombs, yeah, that one didn't connect either. Proper and Aspire not having too much luck with those pulse bomb connections, but Aspire and Proper, they need to kind of square up to each other right now. With Punk being dead, it's all on Aspire really to get that damage done. Vindime asleep, but he is rallying, so he's got a lot of health and a lot of shield to play with. The San Francisco Shock starting this one off pretty damn strong. 2-0 on control.
Wow. Honestly, not that close. I think Titans are going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. That was a real struggle. I like their comp, but the execution from Hisang, I think, especially after that opening pick on mid-fight, was disgusting. I mean, that was like a map-changing fight. Really, that first fight with no ultimates is where the Sombra Tracer is so effective. They're just going to slowly pick you apart, stall the point one by one with the Diva. But this Orisa Cheese really played well. I'm very impressed with Shock for bringing that one out. Great mechanical play from Junbin.
Oh my god. Wait, he just hit him on the arm. That was a combo, actually, I wanted to see as soon as I saw the new Orisa ult, the Terror Surge, pulling people in and then hitting the Death Blossom on top. It only got a couple of kills, but I mean, it looked pretty wicked. I mean, the Shock, like you said, coming out with some unorthodox comps, ends up throwing Vancouver Titans off their game just a little bit. I mean, you're feeling pretty good if you're Shock, and I mean, what can the Titans really do here to come back?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I thought this is actually a mistake from Punk. I think even though Vindame gets the boob, I think Punk was going off the map regardless before the boob. It was like as he's falling, so maybe a misplay from Punk. A little bit of nervousness. Map
selection from the losing side here, so we'll see where Titans want to take us, but strong start from the Shock. 2-0 on Ilios. After the break, we'll see where they want to go. Minions!
San Francisco Shock,
Proper is a generational talent. He's going to be in this league for a long time.
Look at this guy! He's running down Bernard! And he just charges the Sigma!
Completely uncontested, tearing through.
Coming on!
Gindo tried his best, but it's not gonna be enough. Finn is feeling himself. Look at him.
But only affects him. Rampage gonna catch on a two from Kellerman. Proper is there. Oh my!
여기 깔고 또! Alright, the Shock. Bringing out a little cheese on Ilios against the Vancouver Titans. A little 2-0. We are going to Blizzard World as our next map. That was Vancouver Titans pick.
Makes sense, you know, let Punk stick to his comfort heroes. It's a Diva, map we've seen a ton of Diva play on. I think as well we might see Aspire play a little bit of long-range hit scan. Hanzo's been popular and he's been solid on that as well. So I think it's a sensible pick for the Titans, and I think it's a very difficult one for Shock to kind of bring out those weird cheeses like they did on that first round of Ilios, which is, to be fair, it's a Koth special type of play.
Yeah.
But I think it's a smart pick for Titans, but this is a map they need to win this. Like, this has to be a win for Titans. If it's not, then, I mean, I just don't think it really gets better from here. This could be a 3-0 if Titans don't take it and turn the series around.
Well, we saw some crazy stuff from Proper the other week on that Genji on Blizzard World. Like, it was like, okay, I want to win now. So, off the Tracer, on the Genji, give me Nano, and I hit 5 people. Like, it was a turnaround for the Shock. I think maybe even a turnaround for the season for them, because they do obviously need to win here too. This is the knockout brackets. They got to win Summit. And I love having that hype video at the very beginning of some of these games, Jake, where Shock are your Overwatch League champions. Like, this is a championship winning team. You expect a lot from them, and it's good to see them putting up those, you know, even with unconventional comps, putting up those 2-0s on Control to start them off strong. It will be them on the defense, and, well, Jump In's still in. No Max, and I wonder if we are going to see him later on in this series.
I got to admit, maybe Johnny was right. They figured it out. Like, stop changing your taste. I do think Jungmin looked like the better of the two, frankly, from my perspective, although you never know what's going on internally, team comms, so things can play a huge factor. But I liked Ramatra as well. It's going to make it hard for Punk to play his comfort heroes, I think. Like, Diva is going to struggle potentially into this Ramatra that can just face trade with you all day long.
Petal up with the damage. Boost.
Oh, that's huge.
Aspire.
Hanzo especially, he's not going to be back in time. There's a real tempo play available here.
Go.
For the Titans. Wait, the Titans are going Hanzo as well? Okay, this is like an answer to the Ram, potentially. Rather than...
Proper says good.
He's saying over to the Sombra to get back fast. It's a wise choice. It will be a 5-on-5. He's saying he's going to be back for the fight, but just a little bit of tempo for Titans to get in here.
All right. Proper wishing death for his teammates there. Rest in peace, he's saying. All good. Like you said, though, he is back ASAP. Jumping in trouble, though. Vanteen over the wall. But the Nemesis swarm pretty early, too. A lot less defensive countermeasures now, especially with Aspire. Checking Vindime on the flank. Jumping kind of alone right now, just on his little lonesome. Gets naded again. Beautiful
Great
stuff
Matrix,
from
eating
Kinzo.
all the heals by Punk
Back
right
to
there.
back, and that should be point A. If they get one more pick, maybe they don't even need that.
Yeah, honestly, the Sombra, it got back fast, but it's a weird comp, right? You've got this hero who wants to just frontline for you, and now you don't have a backliner, so Shock's still going to try and contest this a little bit.
Juggling, yeah, Heesang's now in the back line, juggles some more, Vindime's back, half HP, anti-naded again, Crimso carrying this first fight with ease, has got the nano. I mean, do you really need much else here? You're already down a healer if you're Shocked, make that two, as Punk finds the other one. Beautiful first push there from Titans.
I will say this is vintage Crimso, right? Crimso, as a player, he's at his best when he's just constantly nading the backline. Like, this is something I've really always seen from him as a player. It's one of his biggest strengths. And, you know, even with the Hanzo comp, right? Like, that Diva Tracer, if you get a nade on a squishy, they can still get the kill. They don't necessarily need the third diver. Aspire has his work cut out from here on the Hanzo. That's going to be tough to stay alive against now more of a full dive variation from the Shock.
Benefit for the Shock, I suppose. They did kind of wipe together and retreat together, so they do get the high ground. Oh, Aspire.
This is like, that's a game-winning kill. That's a game-winning kill. I mean, this is going to open up second. Finn is, okay, he's going to get out here, but all the space given away to Hanzo. He's going to take his position on the map.
All good. Heesang's closing in on that EMP, though, with only 20% to go, but look at this. Heesang is just dancing. Do not test him, please.
I mean, you have to take a risk, right, against Hanzo. It's just inherent to the nature of the hero, but Aspire, he does look clean right now. I want to see where this dragon, maybe a dragon from bottom right. He's got the Sonic there. Oh, this could be tricky. Okay, he's not going to get it.
And it moves on to Punk, forcing him off high ground pretty rapidly. Jumping up there, trying to cause a little bit of a distraction, but Punk is everywhere at once at the point, just trying to check Proper too. Getting the supports off the high ground pretty nice, and they still have that Dragons to use, Jake, if they want to. And now Jumpin's really forced to go on that low ground to try and contest the payload. There's the Dragons force, Vindime and Finn off the point, but with the Nano, you'd imagine Jumpin's going to survive for at least a little while longer here on the points. Faith using that rally too. Punk pretty low, someone's got to heal him. There's the EMP, beautiful stuff. Punk unable to be healed, pops out of that mech, but asleep onto Vindime. Anybody follows up with a kill? No, not to be. And there is the rally. IMAX deployed with Faith dead. This is just free ultimate buffet for the San Francisco Shock as they force Crimson all the way to the backline. And a little bit of a stagger too, in fact.
That's tough for Punk. I mean, he was just going to lose his mech, but he gets EMP right as he's about to come out of the suit, so he can't drop his Diva Bomb and remech. Could have been a fight-changing situation there. And Titan's going to switch over to try and take the mirror, but it's Heesang going right over to the Hanzo. This is an interesting decision to play this Hanzo now that you have a little bit more space in the defense. I can see the idea, but I can't help but feel this opens up a little bit of a vulnerability for Sombra and Tracer to harass. And with a Diva Bomb as well, the damage to break down Punk's mech isn't as valuable here.
Oh my god. If Sugar Free died to that remake, I think I would have lost my mind.
Surely not. Sugar Free almost could have hacked the mech, honestly. I think it could have gone the other way.
Right. All right, self-destruct's really the only tool in the arsenal of the Titans currently. Sugar Free taking a bit too much damage, forced to recall already. Did get the hack off though, so not the worst thing in the world. Bit of free ult charge, but that's about it. And the struggle of Blizzard World second. Everybody seeing it colorized right now.
It's pretty rough right here because Heesang is uncontested. Like, you're never going to win this just poking against Hanzo.
There's the Nano for Punk. Oh, straight on in fact. Heesang, but a beautiful wall climb. Yep, and some additional heals to keep him alive. Jumping though, forced out of mech. They've still got self-destruct, and an anti-nade is going to be good for 2 for Finn. Good stuff, and Heesang with a nice triple kill. And hopefully the stagger here, if you're shot. Yeah, staggering Punk, good stuff. It's going to whittle away that time back. Only 2 minutes remaining now, Jake.
Yeah, great awareness there from Heesang finding that damage. And again, I think Titans, I mean, they had the right idea with that hard dive, but just the follow-up wasn't there quite quickly enough. Heesang's able to just dive in and find more kills.
Yeah. Oh, nice kill. And then the anti-nade, you see Faith, Crimzo, both purple. Easy cleanup kills for Heesang there.
Could be like a next level brain play from Punk to tank that Diva Bomb so he doesn't feed as much ult charge. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but if he did, he's a genius. Because they already lost the fight. Just
he did it.
Tank the Diva Bomb so you get mechs and don't feed much charge.
EMP.
I want to get more,
look at it. EMP could be big. Oh, that anti-nade. That would have been crazy from Crimzo if that hit. Anti-nade into an EMP. Surely
go for you. He needs to find somebody isolated. Here it is.
He's trying. He's looking. Maybe. They're detecting him. Has to go for the EMP. There's Heesang. Gone. Same with Jumpin. Couldn't get that remech, even if he tried it. Pulse bomb onto Vindime, who has been nanoed, but he's got no rally, no extra over armor. You see, he only just earned it. It was like 98%. Needed 1 flail swing. And that'll be the defense cracking there for the Shock. Titans cap second.
I'm not 100% sure. That might have been a pretty big error from Finn. It looked like he had the nano boost available before Jummin got mech'd before the EMP. So he just died from, like pressure onto his Diva suit. And I can't help but wonder, did Finn miss the chance to nano that Diva, keep him alive? That fight could have gone very differently.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was just waiting for and hoping to keep Vindime alive with it, and the Nano Brig with a rally to stall out, create a raid boss. But wasn't to be, and we'll erase that from our memory for the time being. Attempting use of the Dragons. Nice use on the choke there, forces Punk all the way back, I suppose, but free ultimate charge with the support. That's all I see that as.
Everything used over Shock cooldown-wise. They're going to get pressured back right now. Rally for Faith Kate's here.
Rally. Vindime's actually called out, though. There's the Nano. Crimzo onto Faith. And now it's just Faith with 2 supports in his sight lines. And the damage is just too much. Brig on brig combat, but Heesang on the other side of things manages to take out 2, but with a backline dead as Shock and Jumpin, yeah, pretty low. It looks like it's going to be a reset. So Titans come out on top, but with only a minute to go, looking like an overtime finish now for Titans.
Yeah, I think they still have 1 more fight if they lose this one, and ults look good for Titans. A Diva Bomb actually is going to be really annoying to deal with for the defenders. Punk can push that cart with impunity, even if he loses his suit. He's going to drop the bomb, and Titans coming back with their spawners. This is their moment.
Taking a lot of damage on the sidelines from Popper, who's trying to demech him to get a free pulse bomb. Punk playing point guard right now. Look at him, just Perma looking at Proper, so Proper can't really move at all. There's the dribble blink, but no, Punk 180 eat. Thank you very much. No way Proper was going to past Punk, but that
On the
stick,
shield.
or on the shield, then directly into the wall there as Vindive manages to escape with his life somehow. Sugar Free forced to recall, and there's the raid box. No ultimate though from Vindive, so not as much of a raid boss as he should be with that rally, as Sugar Free somehow surviving that dragon threatening his face, and the smallest 1v1 route possible. Jump in, dips out though, has to return to the rest of his team. Is that payload now slowly moving back? One fight to go, Jake, 15 seconds on the board.
Aspire gonna switch over to the Sojourn, look for a comfort pick here. I think this could be pretty rough though, because you know you still have that Diva Bomb. However, double support coming up for Titans. This is an opening here. You've got that Nano break potentially, maybe Nano Diva to keep her up since you have no bomb.
Crimso's getting he gets dove, but no. Nano onto Punk, and Faith with the rally. Proper and jump in dive unsuccessful, at least for the time being. That overhelp's going to be quite annoying to deal with. This Punk with the Nano surges forward and kills Heesang. Overtime in session as Proper lets loose a Pulse Bomb, but doesn't find a kill. Punk manages to get a juicy flank there onto Vindive, forcing him to stop getting healed, and Jumpin tries to go for the remake from the self-destruct, but Aspire just unleashes this Sojourn pick, and it's going to clean up the shot. I mean, Heesang's on the Genji, but it's a 1v4 on the point with no hope in sight. Nice 5-player kill streak there too. The Titans are going to cap in OT.
Wow, great cap, and getting a finish on Blizzard Bird, you're feeling really good about this for the Titans. I'd say this is above average. I mean, it is in overtime, but I think this is a solid push. And you know, like you were mentioning, right? People hold on first, they hold at the end of second, they hold on third. So there's really, it's a defense-sided map, and you're feeling pretty good about this for the Titans. They could tie up the series 1-1 here with a solid defense.
It's an OT, so at least Shock have got that in the back of their minds. If they do finish with over a minute, they get a free attack. But yeah, like you said, tough to finish even with time on this map. I really like Punk's play there. Doing a lot on that last point. Just managed to sneak his way in, separate Finn from Vindive. Really hard to get the heals through a large target, let alone a Diva who has a Matrix too. So Vindive was just caught on a little island and ended up dying. And as soon as your Brig is dead, way less defensive prowess there for Finn to really grasp onto. Well, the Shock, see what they can do on their offense. Looks like Vancouver Titans not going with the Sombra, just Spire on the Hanzo, Sugar Free on Tracer.
Yeah, I like the flexibility to switch back and forth there. I think it is a little awkward for Titans because when they play Sombra Tracer, it's Sugar Free on the Sombra and Aspire on the Tracer. When they play Hanzo Tracer, they're double swapping for that. So it's costing them, I think, a little bit in the efficiency category, which could punish them. But, you know, DPS, I think, are typically the most okay with, like, dropping their ults. They're usually, you know, dropping the Hanzo's Dragon, like, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal. But it, you know, it could come back to bite them. We'll see. Another chance for Proper. Can he return back? I would be so shocked if this works.
Oh, bad.
Surely
no,
not.
No one looking. Nope.
Oh, Bab Zen, huh? Okay.
Oh, wow. What do you got cooking, Shock? Okay.
Trying to
how
punish
does this
this
really
Hanzo
interact
pick,
with its
really.
goal?
I mean, this is a ton of pressure onto Punk. He's going to have to play so safely. If he ever gets low down in the mech, I mean, the fight's like going to be over, and they're just going to run it down with this Zed. But by the same token, Zen can die very easily, even to just this Tracer Diva dive.
Look at that jump in, just coating Finn in the Matrix, just making sure he gets
left.
the Mega Health back. Nice anti-nade once again, pushed out of that lamp, but lamp, a pretty big tool to stop those antis from being capitalized upon.
Punk is so low.
He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP.
He's been 1 HP for like an hour.
Someone heal the boy, heal the boy. All good, he's getting 3 packs.
Oh, big dive.
Huge dive though, and there you go. Finn executed in Snacks Rabbits. Punk's still trying to look for an entrance, but without that Discord orb, Punk's a little bit more free now.
Yeah, Crimson and Punk are like playing to the limit right now. Punk went down to 1 HP like 3 times in that fight, and he's still diving, still looking for more kills.
Hello. Where are you, Heesang? Oh, he's found Vindive at least. Vindive forced to use that lamp again. Can the Shock actually stay in this fight? I'm not sure they can, especially with Vindive going down. Punk controlling so much space on this Diva.
I mean, the play is just very clean from Titans right now, but I mean, that was such a tight margin. Punk, if he lost the mech there, I mean, that was first point over. Yeah, but to be fair, winning that first fight, now you feel really good. Finn only at 60% to a Trank, and I mean, we saw how dangerous those dives were onto the Zen. Now you're gonna have a Nano Diva or a Nano Tracer running it down on you, maybe a Nano Brig. That's gonna be really scary. Sure, you've got the lamp, but is that really enough?
I mean, most of the time at the moment, it's been used to actually save people from anti-nades, so...
Crimzo as well, he's been really on point, and Junbin maybe a little bit less experience on the D.Va. Sure, he's got great aim, but is he going to eat all those Ana cooldowns?
Maybe Sugar Free's Pulse one too. Another deadly tool to use against the back line of the San Francisco Shock. Slowly but surely, Shock making their way up, just trying to get Finn into a position where he can do damage. There's the nano, there's the dive. Lamp already deployed as Sugar Free looks for a target with that pulse bomb. Matrix not able to eat the pulse. Oh, the damage. No stick, but the damage is there. Feels pretty good if you're the Titans right now, whittling that time bank down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. Shock have no say in these fights. It's been so rough. This dive just executed to perfection.
And the ults go 3 for 3 there. Sure, that's a big commitment from Titans, but Shock tried the same thing. And switching over to the Kiriko here as well. The Sombra, sure, they're on the Zen has Trank, but this Zen has not worked. I mean, I think it's fair to say at this point, he's got his Trank in almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's rather rough. 3-minute Transcendence. All good. All good.
And I feel like for Shock, you need to like win during the Trank. I mean, if Titans can just back out while you're Tranking, re-heal, Zen's just gonna die right after. He's got nothing to keep him alive here.
They're in an aggressive position. Beautiful hack. Actually, he's a hack Discord insta onto Punk. Nice, easy remake though. I mean, you've got that cooldown out, which is great, but still not the best. Finn pushed out from high ground. Even Vindai, we see him struggling there to try and heal Finn, who was pushed so far away. And even the rally coming out from Titans to stall some more.
Yeah, Shock's doing a great job leading the ults out of Titans. They've got nothing left here. Sugar Free coming up on a pulse bomb, but it's going to be really rough. Everyone can save themselves pretty much from that, so.
Pretty much. Discord on the Brig, now disconnected and instantly pressured out. Finn have popped up Transcendence. The Shock have kind of traded places
What a rotation
with the Titans.
from Titans. Beautiful
the rotation
on that
looks
Drake.
good though, and a pulse bomb available from Sugar Free on the platform as Vindai struggles to keep himself alive on the point, or on the map even. A nice little swift step back onto it, but Punk's already there. Punk has matched this dive from the San Francisco Shock as he takes down Vindime, but with the back line of the Vancouver Titans kind of waning at this point. Crimzo coming back with a nano as Proper gets a nice blink melee kill on Sugar Free. I mean, they might be able to get back here though, Jake.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot harder with that kill from Proper. That was absolutely massive for his team here.
Gotta stay alive, Punk.
Punk gonna stay alive.
They have nano.
Are you gonna go for this? They might.
No.
Oh, okay.
They don't. He was thinking about it.
But still, the time bank is so low now. Titans, they've been playing really, really well. All you kind of have to do is just maintain, win one fight. And the Moira comes out for Finn. Okay, I mean, I'm not really a fan of this against Hanzo. You're not. It's not like a hard dive comp where the Moira's going to fade away. You're mostly going to be dying to like one hits from Hanzo. Maybe you can dive in on the Moira. Okay, also over to the Ramaj.
Yeah, your orbs eaten
This is just, I don't like this comp from Shock. I'm gonna come out and say it. This just, the pieces don't fit together here. Oh, what? Excuse me?
I mean, he was low and he needed to activate. I don't know why. I mean, EMP got nothing. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Got nothing.
Nothing you can say. I mean, maybe Proper 3-blinked on that, but there's no one else who can follow. It's literally only Sombra and Tracer.
Well, there's the rush, but Punk's been nanoed and a good anti again from Crypto. Forces jumping all the way back.
Still
This
though,
is great.
fighting in the Kirk wall is so strong here.
It is strong, but they're
gonna
just
run
going to
out.
have to retake another good anti. Vindime just forced to use that Suzu every single chance he gets to. Really rough stuff, and well, we're approaching second point, so the Dragon is only going to continue. It's like sandpaper this match, or this point in the map at least.
Yeah,
and we're jumping to Vindime dead.
Great
Last
zoning
fight,
Dragon
shot.
forces Junbin into it, and I mean, this comp is like, this is some weirdness from Shock. Like, I guess I mean, it's kind of what we saw on Ilios, the cheeses worked, but for me, this is not a good cheese. I mean, Crimzo is just gonna throw his nade on cooldown on your backline. Sure, you've got Suzu, but I mean, it's not what you want to be doing. You know, so let the Ana just play her game, and I don't know what else you can do on Shock besides just sit on the car and try to hack Punk, who is just going to get so much heal from the Ana, and Brig could even drop down and rally and help him if needed.
Oh, yeah.
And no one's, I mean, Aspire's, like, you're just not looking at Aspire and Crimzo with this comp.
Well, there's Punk, he's hacked. Don't worry though. He's got thrusters and a whole lot of heal, like you just said. Orbs are coming out from Finn to try and heal up his front line, but Punk instantly eats the healing orb that's thrown out. Just jumped in once again, suffering. But no, not everybody else. It's just him. He's suffering on the foot right now.
Yeah, every Nemesis form is being used defensively.
Punk, he's just dipping down.
Look at him, he's holding the car!
He's just holding the payload.
You have to do something, Shock!
Don't worry. Jump in, he's crouching, shooting up at him.
Shock is not moving!
He's doing damage.
He unplugged his keyboard, guys!
Look at him do it!
He's unplugged his keyboard!
Someone, please, kill Punk. All right, Proper's low, and here comes the Colt.
Oh my God.
But he's getting hard focused by Punk. Sugarfree still got the pulse bomb in his hand too, and here comes the rally. Jump in, suffering again from the anti-nade, as close to the ultimate as you can be without hitting the Q button. There you go, Annihilation out, but Crimso is so free that he's just doing damage to the front line. EMP is good enough for one, but the Dragons from Aspire eliminate the back line in the San Francisco Shock. They're gonna get held at second, and the Titans are gonna tie this one up. One apiece after that Blizzard World win.
If you're in my rank game and you pick these heroes, I'm flaming you. Shock, I'm flaming you too. What is that? That is like a terrible comp. I mean, what Punk is doing, abusing that stall spot on high ground, I mean, you just have nothing to respond to that. You have no long range damage. You have Moira, Kiriko, who are just like, they're scared for their lives constantly. You've got Uramatra, who's always using his Nemesis form defensively. I mean, that's textbook play from Titans, but really, like, I feel like Shock's not making it hard for them there. Listen, I have not seen this work yet, so you know what? I'm here for it.
He really did just unplug his keyboard, and that was...
Oh, this eat is so huge, right? If Aspire goes down here, this is like, they're gonna fail the attack.
Really good looks from the Titans so far. I mean, this defense looked impenetrable. It looked good. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, the Shock, they run with that cheese. On control, though, it's a bit easier to kind of get away with that because of how the flow of the game works, but with the Moira, a bit of a questionable pick maybe, and like you said, no one really there to contest Punk. The San Francisco Shock, they get their map choice now as we go into map number 3, but if they keep playing like this, Jake, I'm not sure it's going to go their way. Maybe our Preds are going to be correct and the Desk are wrong. We'll have to wait and see, though, after the break. See you in a minute.
up big. 4-4 to fight. You just got to stop Aspire getting away with these kills. Insane brick player. Yeah.
Oh, it's looking like Lenny time, baby. The Titans, they take their map choice. They went to Blizzard World and won it quite, well, fair and square, I think. They completed the entire map and then stopped Shock getting to second. We are going to Havana now. That is Shock's map pick. And talk about cheese over the last couple of maps, Shake. I mean, what do you really expect Shock to play here? This is their map choice.
I mean, for me, Havana's just a rush mirror map now. I mean, there was a time when people played a ton of poke here, but I think people realized that defense, you can fight 3 times on first point with a defense rush comp, just speeding in, maybe using the Symmetra to teleport back faster, and just, I mean, fighting 3 real team fights on 1 point, it's just too much value to ignore. Even if you lose the first 2, as long as you clutch the last one, you can, like, that's 2 minutes off the clock, you know, so it's just a huge, huge value to play that on defense, and usually there's no other way to get out of the spawn doors other than that. I mean, Shock could do some crazy stuff. I think, didn't we see them play, like, some, like, Pharah over the spawn door one time?
Yes.
People will
we've
run
seen
that,
before,
but
yeah.
Suffice to say, I'm not a fan. I think it's just too zany.
That is rather solo queue, Pharah one-trick
Yeah.
moment, I think.
For the kids at home, it works really well if you try to shoot the Pharah because she's defending herself really well. All you have to do against those Pharah strats is speed out the far left on attack and then get to the enemy backline. Get to the Widowmaker, the Ana. Those players, they cannot protect themselves from a 5-man rush, and just let the Pharah stay by your spawn. Okay, like, have fun over there. You know, like, she really can't play anywhere else on this map since it's pretty much a terrible map for Pharah other than that one cheesy spot over the roof.
That's if your teammates are in voice. So
True.
That is the prerequisite
True.
to that, if they're in voice. And
Yeah,
want to do that.
fair. Well, just get one guy with you, Tracer Sombra, Tracer
Yeah.
Lucio. That's enough.
Hit the
Kill that
flank.
Ana, and they'll start to fall apart.
Well, here we go. Titans are on the defense, and it will be a close hold. And it looks like Shock expect that. Just,
what a ball from Sugar-Free! Denies the rotation. He's so ready.
Beautiful stuff.
Oh my god, this is such an innovative adjustment from Shock, or from Titans rather. Shock, like, I like that play, like flipping the map on attack makes you, just puts you in a better position than trying to come out of the spawn door, and you leave your Hanzo behind. But
no heals.
I mean, Sugar-Free was absolutely ready for it, and he just cuts them apart with that perfect Mei wall.
Nice. Good start, Titans. Well, Faith and Crimzo are antied, as Finn managed to found a little wrap around there. But he do be shooting the enemy team, but
You got to do some trickery on this attack because the defense just has a better position than you in the default. So I don't mind Finn looking for these plays, but needs to find a kill.
Finn now high in the sky.
Junmin.
Faith taking a lot of damage, but that lap is going to save Punk at least for the time being. But no, Proper's opening this one up. And there you go. Ooh, nice little sliding headshot.
Okay. Okay.
He's in it. Feels like Genji moment at this point on the Blizzard World the other week. I'm going to play this character, and I will carry. We'll see if he can continue to do so. Nice defense, though. I mean, you burn a minute off the clock there.
Yeah, you feel good winning one team fight there is good enough. Titans, they want to just get out to this next fight very, very quickly. They all wiped on car, which is perfect. Try and stop the car early enough where you have a potential retake.
Sugar-Free's close to that Blizzard, though. He's hanging a little bit further away, but they should get it roughly the same time, you'd imagine.
Yeah, and Aspire on his Comfort Sojourn. We'll see if he's able to make this work. Most teams have gone with the Hanzo. And
for that
might
reason.
be why.
Yes, one-shot headshot. That was pretty good. Now Sugar-Free can't use his ult, and there we go. Proper dismantling
Proper go kill.
the defense.
Proper go kill. Make the call.
Proper is killing. Luckily enough for Shock fans out there, Proper is killing people right now.
Is this retakeable? I think it's actually kind of close.
Will
I
be
mean,
tough.
Punk with the last spawn, and maybe that off cart there, it could be rough, but it's almost possible here.
Nah, they're not going
Are you going to do it without Punk, though? Probably not. They're just going to go for, again, like, even if you don't get this hold, you can fight at this first choke, right? So now second point turns into a 3-5 point. This is the strength of the rush comp here on this map.
Especially with that Mei, getting those isolations as soon as they come through the door is going to be rather nice for the Titans. Same could be said on the flip side for the Shock if they find a creative wall.
So far, it's just been the proper show. I feel like the fundamentals, I don't know if we've seen Shock playing like that particularly well. It's just been proper getting opening kills. So, hey, just keep doing that, I guess.
Dragon Strike, high ground. Should be spotted out, though. And Aspire rips that overclock. see what he can do. The entire team of the Shock are separated right now, trying to group up again so they don't all go down to this overclock, and they do so quite successfully.
Just a DPSL 1-for-1.
Big wraparound potentially here. Yeah, they know they're coming, so we'll see if the Titans can maneuver themselves off the high ground, but I don't think you're going to want to, really. I mean, Sugarfree's still got that Blizzard, and well, I mean, now it's a one fight. You lose your Mei in that situation, that's pretty much over. But Faith overextending. In fact, a nano boost with the Annihilation onto Jumpin as he just runs through the window, shattering Crimzo's hopes and dreams there. And that will be the fight opening. That looked nice. Killing onto Heesang. You can't isolate the enemy Ramantra, but the Vancouver Titans overstepping.
It is a ridiculously deadly combo, but you don't feel that bad about losing a fight to Nano, Ramattra. Punk's still holding on to his ult. You've got Mei, you got Blizzard, right? You got Sound Barrier. So really the most important team fight ultimate's still available for Titans. They're looking good coming into this retake, but it is a little bit scary right now. This is Proper's chance to find an opening kill and secure second point for his team.
Spire trying to find some cheeky angles. Nice headshot though. Jumping already pretty low. Had to pop that Nemesis for, but there's the beat from Vindai, but he's just going to get focused. Easy Blizzard. Nice stuff from Aspire, hitting that initial headshot, forcing Jumpin to use one of those cooldowns as they get some revenge on Aspire. They send a three-man death squad straight towards his location, and now it's up to Proper to try and find some additional kills as Heesang trying to find this wraparound. Shocker playing this kind of unorthodox for a rush comp, but honestly losing your tank and finding additional kills here is all for the benefit of the Shock to keep their positioning. Wow, the Dragons kill Crimzo.
Yeah, he's cut off in the corner there and shut down, and now it's looking really rough. Beating Punk somehow didn't get that beat blocked by the shield.
I think he did, but I think his health bar just instantly evaporated, but still managed to kill Proper. I mean, the soundbite from Faith there, Punk didn't have Annihilation. You see it in that previous engagement, Jake, so, I mean, that's pretty rough, especially with Jumpin now back.
Hold on, it might be doable somehow.
Maybe Crimzo, nice Suzu in himself. There's no way Aspire wins that fight. 300 HP for Junbin on the front line, but he's all alone, he's isolated, he's got to survive, but not to be, as Faith chases him down. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go.
The performance right there from Vancouver Titans DPS is so crucial. Sugarfree and Aspire each finding picks, and Shock, their spawn is so far away. Those cost you so much more on the offense. You have to be clean, and right now, a little bit of an ult advantage for Shock, but they don't have anything available just yet, so they're going to have to poke and prod, which more chances for Titans DPS to find a pick-off.
Wow, Punk taking a lot of damage there.
Crimzo's going to get that cure gold off it, though. It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of nice. Lots of offers to go around. Punk just perma taking damage. Puts the shield up. Have to wait for that to come off cooldown. And here's the rush, Jake, like you said.
You've got that rush.
Oh, good kill by Proper. Aspire dead, and now it's up to Titans to try and equalize the fight. He's on the high ground. He's in a good position. Uses that Dragon Strike, separating the Vancouver Titans again. Here's the Nano Ramantra ult. That Annihilation is just going to keep on rolling for Jumpin as Punk was standing in his way. And no one anymore is standing for the Titans. The second point is capped. And now to assail the castle with only 2 minutes in that time.
I mean, you're already feeling pretty good as a Shock getting past second point. I do think there's good potential for a hold here. Not really much in the cards for Shock. You've just got the mail to work with. That can be all you need sometimes. So this is a very winnable third point, but capping third on Havana, you feel really good about Shock if you manage to get that. Jumpin very aggressive in this corner.
That's it, wall again. I like we're getting this POV from it. Jumpin gets frozen. The heals is crazy. That nade from Finn kept him alive for a little moment there, but once again, Titans biting off a little bit more than they can chew, Jake. Feels like a point A all over again.
Yeah, fighting a little bit early. Jumpin goes down, but he'll be back in the fight. So, I mean, honestly, third point Havana, anything outside the castle is a throwaway fight.
Sure, yeah.
If you're really lucky, you can win a dominant fight in spawn camp for a little, but really, this is the part that matters for Titans. They've got to hold this castle door here at the end. Not much to open it up with here. Like, you're not going to beat it down mid in this comp. That's kind of crazy. So
Annihilation
it's all about these Hanzos.
Is going to rip and tear the front line if they're not careful, though. Crimzo back on the Ana. So many nice little nade spots you can get as soon as they step through that choke. It's pretty easy for Crimzo to set something up. Looks like Jumpin's trying to create some space on the left side. Maybe one of his DPS to get a wall onto Punk. But speaking of walls, oh, they fell off. Oh, he got booped off of the wall.
I thought he was going to get like a 5K there.
Oh, he could have done. He very well could have done. Spy just ended up going down, but I mean, like you said, Jake, pretty throwaway fight there. If you don't get through the main doors without killing the tank, it's pretty rough for you. So there you go. Jumpin dead, reset for Shock. 40 seconds left on the clock.
It's a scary moment now for Shock. We've seen how devastating the Nano Ramantra ult can be. You do have support ults available for the Shock, but the thing about the Ramantra ult, I mean, it just doesn't last forever anymore, but it's pretty much as good as forever when you're Nano. People just burn down so quickly to your Nemesis form in the ultimate.
Crimzo with the Nano coming up, Annihilation, and the Nano. They're going to use it. Dragon Strike. It's Vindime just a little bit there, but Sugar Free goes down again. Proper go kill. It's working out. It's working out.
It's
but
traded,
luckily,
though.
Punk paying his dues there, killing Proper. And now is the big problem for the Shock. They got to go against this beat. The Ramantra ult, the Nano. Pretty much everything from the Titans is available right now. There's Faith, beats them forward, and that will be a defensive hold from the Vancouver Titans. Pretty decent payload progress, you got to admit though, Jake. Annihilation, still the one thing that the Shock have, even a Blizzard, but a little sore, I think, after Punk ran it down, and that will be a nice double kill for Faith at the very end. But considering the payload progress there, Jake, it's through the archway, which is pretty hard to do. So that very small bit of meterage there that Shock got at the very end could be the difference maker.
Yeah, I think that's very, I'm glad you highlighted that, because just that little bit of distance through the choke, it's such a huge deal as a defense, because now you have that wiggle room to, like, okay, if you take big poke, you can hop off car for 1 second and get re-healed. That can be a game changer in those third points. But for Titans, it's going to be a tough test to even get it to third. I think oftentimes we see this map full held on first. We see both teams almost full holding on first sometimes. So really, I think already Shock feeling really good about this map. I think if Titans make this offense work, we're going to be looking back at the end of the series and saying Havana was this key moment. The teams pretty much played a mirror match. Sure, there was a little bit of swaps rather on the support.
Swips and swaps, yeah.
Swips and swaps support. Hanzo, Aspire bring out Sojourn, but pretty much just you know, blow for blow rush mirror. Who's better at the game? This is a big test for it, I think.
Proper's currently deadlifting right now. He's got half the team's final blows.
Doesn't surprise me. Oh, here we get this boop. Boop. Oh, just before they Maywalled, too.
That is oh, look at Heesang. Just managed to scoot his way on there on the high
quicker
ground.
reaction.
Nice boop from Finn.
Yeah, it's such a risky play.
Well,
nice awareness to throw the vert nade, right, as you're going down.
Yeah.
I wonder if that hit anybody. Probably not.
Probably
honestly,
not, but
maybe it did. It would have been exciting if it did.
what's crazy, actually, I'm looking at these stats right now, Jake. Heesang's got 0 final blows. But it's on a Mei, so you're like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
There's more utility there, but you
Sugar Free's gotten a few headshot kills.
Exactly,
I mean, sometimes
right?
that's a difference maker.
Exactly. It's
Proper
mainly
on the
Proper right
Widow defense. This is crazy. This is really crazy because you have like no shield pressure on this hero. It is all about the kills. Maybe a classic Proper hero, maybe he goes crazy here, but so much pressure on his shoulders. I don't like this, frankly.
You got to hit those shots, my guy. You got to hit him.
Jumpman is just gonna die. It's like Proper. It's not enough to just pressure shields and buy shots.
Well, there you go.
Okay, I mean.
He's dead, everybody.
I don't like this Widow pick. This is too much for me, Proper. Like, you can carry on the other heroes too, and you can break the shield, and you can Sonic for your team.
His Hanzo was crazy.
Okay,
oh, there's a pick. Oh, wait. Wait.
Oh, he's dead. Okay.
Oh, okay. Good. Punk just bicep curling Proper there with the Nemesis form.
Pick him up, throw him to the ground, RKO off the top rope.
You know what I want to see, actually?
Be a good wrestler.
I was going to say, but also a highlight intro too for Ramantra, like suplexing somebody would be kind of cool.
Oh.
Whoa.
Like take Winston by his legs and slam him around.
Slam him. Yeah. Well, there you go, Debs. That's
like
a free one
for you. Avengers with the Hulk.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. He's Sonic. What's he got?
He's Sonic.
They know where he is.
He's shooting.
Okay.
And
you just.
Nah, that was close. But Hanzo versus the Widowmaker. A tale as old as time.
So scary.
Unfortunately, pretty tough for both people, you'd imagine. And Aspire logs him. You gotta switch.
Widow. It's a bad pick. I'm gonna say it right now.
switch.
It's like an ego pick. This is something, to be honest, I've been criticizing Proper a lot this season. He makes, like, sometimes the ego picks work, but I feel like that's a way you beat bad teams. It does not work against the best teams because it's like Hanzo is not. It's not like you can't carry on Hanzo, you know? It's just a better pick.
He carried first point,
You
Jake.
did carry. He was definitely in the map. But just get off Widow, bro. Like, I know you're gonna Widow, but just play Hanzo. You can break the shield and headshot people. You know, I mean, it's just very hard, and especially on this comp, like, I mean, who are you sniping? You're sniping heroes who can also headshot you back, like Hanzo and Mei. It's scary.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of time away from your supports there too. Oh, nice move. Although Crimzo's now.
Right into Crimzo.
Oh, nice move.
Like, yo,
Please,
don't bring it to me. I can't fight that thing.
Okay, well, Nemesis form and a nano boost. That'll do. That'll do. Now they can set up. And yep, okay. Proper's now on the Hanzo, so pretty nice with the San Francisco Shock. And winning the fight there is really nice. You can hold forward. The payload's not at a distance where you need to kind of taper your aggression a little bit. And they've got the Annihilation after that nano boost. So not bad for the Shock, although you've got to be scared of Punk's one as well. This Blizzard's, this is really just one-for-one tank and DPS trader here of Ultimus, is depending how Heesang actually deploys his Blizzard.
Oh, big boop from Faith. Knocks Heesang out of the window. He's already iceblocked on Car. He could be vulnerable here.
Blizzard available. There you go, straight onto Heesang. Doesn't even need the Blizzard to follow that one up with. All right, nice stuff. And then Punk using that Annihilation. Doesn't even need to at this point. Jumpin's trying to use his, but look at all the damage he's getting. Absolutely zero, Jake. He put a shield up in front of him, sure, but it doesn't really matter because then Punk just isolates Finn, and with no Lucio to kind of kite Jumpin around, that ult is just thrown away.
This fight is all on Faith. Like, Faith, you carried that fight. That one boop knocked them off the high ground. She's in a bad spot. She's forced to ice block, throw her Blizzard willy-nilly. It just looks so bad. And now, oh my god, Titans is going to be choking this. Dragon's going to come through at the worst possible moment for Shock.
There's the Dragons. They're all making their way up the stairs. Easy kills for Finn. Return Dragons from Proper, but he's low HP. And the Shock had to funnel onto point to try and find something. I mean, the Titans are okay at blowing all their ultimates there. They get this point basically for free. They have 4 minutes in the time back now, Jake. They are looking, well, I was going to say proper, but yeah, he's on the other team. They're looking great.
As a Hanzo fan, oh, those are the Dragons you live for. Like, 5 heroes on the Sonic coming through the choke, like, let them
You know
come.
it's coming, right?
Let
If you're the
them
Shock,
come. Yeah.
you're like, we have to tank it some way, or do we speed around? Like, that's rough, man. That's real rough.
And I like that Vancouver, they just commit everything there because they've got 4 minutes to work with. You know, it could come back to bite them, but Shock, like, what, they've got a nano to work with. It's not that scary when you don't have a Ramattra roll. It's like, yeah, you can nano your Ramattra, but that can get kited out pretty easily by a speed boost from Faith, who has been so on point so far this series.
Faith's Brig was highlighted last week too. He's been amazing standout for the Vancouver Titans. There's the nano boost onto Jumpin. Just any ultimates that Vancouver Titans can leech out of the Shock right now is great. Vindime does end up going down, but without a front line, Titans might struggle a little bit, and yeah, struggle they do. So Titans go for a reset. They know they got the nano out of Finn, so they're going to go again. With only 3 minutes left, so Sugarfree's already built himself towards another Blizzard, Jake, and then Punk slowly making his way towards that Annihilation. But they're going to get a nano first, which could be the difference maker.
I mean, Nano is a really strong ultimate. That Nano Ramattra combo is great, but it leaves you without any response to the Blizzard. You don't have an Immortality field. We've seen teams run the Kiriko. You don't have the Cleanse. So the Blizzard is often just a pretty consistent kill onto your Ramattra, which can shut down the defense.
Speaking of Blizzards, wow, Shock really want to take these fights early. Okay, wasn't much of a fight, really. Nice little block there from Heesang. Yeah. Don't let Sugar Free get a kill. Uh-oh. Oh, Heesang's in trouble.
Such a big
no
dice
wall
here.
available. Only a couple of seconds before he gets it online.
Okay.
No, all good. Vindime jump into the rescue.
Great heal from the team there. Honestly, if Heesang goes down, that is really bad for Shock because they lose the opportunity to make these early contests. But
I mean, I'm looking at Vancouver Titans right now, Jake. They've not used an ult in the last couple of fights. This the Shock that have had to get these ultimates out to win these.
Yeah.
Although it's bought enough time for Finn for another nano.
it's good tempo, and I love Heesang and Vindame playing on this off angle. It's very annoying to remove heroes like Mei and Lucio from this flank. But Jumpin's getting caught. But see, again, the counter pressure just always comes in.
Dragon Strike. Vancouver Titans are so fluid in their motions right now, just know when to back off and know when to put on the aggression. There's the Blizzard. Heesang's frozen. Same with Jumpin. Shield in front of Jumpin. No heals and a wall. The Vancouver Titans now just going to run it down. Jumpin didn't want to use
This
this
could be
annihilation.
game.
That would be a
Finn dies
complete
here.
throw. If Finn does die, that could be disastrous. But Vindime dies on the wall. He tried to wall right straight into the spawn point, Jake, but couldn't get away. And even Proper's low HP. Faith is trying to kill him. But as Suzu comes out, just in the nick of time from Finn to save him. An annihilation as the Shock try and touch. And Titans are going to crumble the defense of the Shock. That
C9 in the
castle
chat.
being shattered. I mean, right now, you're feeling pretty good if you're the Titans. You beat Shock on their map pick. You go to match point. And the Shock, I mean, you got to look at the Widow pick on first, like, got nothing done, and then it was just a slow snowball from the Titans. They're just marching through the forest, tearing up every single tree in their sights, and the Shock had nothing to say about that.
The Lucio gap here has been significant. I just have to call it out. That's a crucial mistake from Vindame to die right before the last fight where Lucio is the most important hero. You need to speed your team out, and they're just forced into this desperation contest as soon as that happens.
That's why it's called Rush.
He's trying to save Finn, right? He's trying to keep him alive. If Ana died, that would also been game losing, so it's like a understandable mistake to make, but it's crucial. And you know, you look at Faith on the other side, this guy hasn't made any mistakes. He's been so clean, and not only playing clean, but making plays. Not just like the old style of Lucio being super safe. I'm not going to make any mistakes. he's actually making plays at the same time. So Faith, I just want to highlight him as such a huge difference maker, especially in the rush comp. Aspire looked great on the Hanzo, stuck to his guns as well.
Yeah, Faith, I mean, he was highlighted the other week for his Brig play. Now his Lucio play is up to par, that is for sure. Maybe even hitting some home runs. I mean, the Vancouver Titans, they're up 2 maps. We're going to another map where Shock get to choose. I want to see where they want to go because they need to dig themselves out of this series right now. Map number 5, potentially on the cards. We'll have to wait and see, though, after this break. Okay, who controls the @Diablo Twitter handle? Why are you telling us to bring back goats? Not our fault, not our problem. We're not bringing back goats. I'm sorry. As much as you loved it, a lot of people loved it. A lot of people hated it. I'll tell you what, San Francisco Shock hate right now though. That is Faith on the Lucio. Dude has been carrying. Not often do we talk about main supports carrying that hard. Sometimes, you know, back in the olden days it was like Healbot Lucio, but there's so much more playmaking potential, and Faith has been doing that in spades. And as we go on to Esperanza, Jake, our next map, this is Shock's choice again. Well, I mean, are they still going to run with this Ram rush? Is Proper still going to play the Hanzo? Like, how can they really turn this one around?
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be going back to more of a classic dive style. We might see, I would expect to see the Sombra Tracer mirror. I think that is like, I don't think there's much options, honestly, in the map. This meta, I think you need to play Winston, Sombra Tracer, maybe Diva or Queen. Like, this is a good pick, I think, for Shock because, okay, I think Punk, he's probably going to need to do something off his comfort zone. Like, I've seen teams run the Queen. I'm not a fan. I think this is a Winston map. There's so much verticality. The mobility is so valuable. I think we're gonna. I want to see Titans just man up, take this mirror. You don't need to cheese. You can be the better team. I think that's what we've seen in the last map. That was a rush mirror, though. Punk's feeling better about that. This is now we're in Junman's wheelhouse, so I think this is a map I would expect to see Shock win. I think this is their favorite map, but of course they have to. Their backs against the wall. They're facing elimination here, Jack. Who would have thought San Francisco Shock could be eliminated here in the first round by the Vancouver Titans of all people. In fact, well, I mean, this is an
age-old matchup. Yeah. Completely different teams, but an age-old matchup. Titans and the San Francisco Shock. Elvis, old clips dug out of the archive, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Like you said, it's just the dive with the Tracer Sombra. No
mano y mano, baby. Let's go. No swaps. And he's saying already forced out, but not meaning much yet. It's really all about who trades better, who fights better for the map control, and honestly, this first fight can come to ultimates.
Oh, saw that nade, Crimzo. I had my eyeballs glued to it. Didn't quite land on Finn, and Finn, nice hack actually on that. Just a little bit of synchronization there. Winston goes in, nades go in, but it will be Shock at least taking control of the ball at least for the time being. But a beautiful hack, an Aspire triple blink melee onto Finn, and that's first fight.
Yeah, I think Crimzo even got one shot in on the enemy Ana, and you can't overemphasize how significant that is, right? You saw Finn was like inches from getting that nade off, and it's going to be an instant swap over to the Moira Kiriko. The Outlaws, I think, brought this out first. I like the comp actually in this mirror. I think there is more potential where having this like incredible solo survivability can be really annoying to deal with. However, you are going to leave, I think, Punk with a little bit more freedom to just counter dive. I don't think he has to really dive. There's no Ana to like you need a blocker heals for, right? So it's going to be more counter diving probably.
Oh, this dive from Jumpman's pretty good. Anti-nades from Faith from Crypto, sorry, couldn't save Faith. Nice return dive. Kind of like it too in a way, because without the Lucio, Finn is more free to kind of chill with the tanks, and well, not with the tanks, but Vindime, sorry, is more free to go on the sidelines with Proper. Doesn't have to worry too much because there's two main sources and big sources of healing, so that's pretty nice. And the Cole can be a game changer too, unless you get hacked, which is
Yeah, the Brig's a nice adaptation from Faith, though. I think having a little bit more pure defense, if you're going to still run the Ana, makes more sense. Lucio very vulnerable to every hero pretty much on the Shock to just poke you down.
All right. Well, EMP available from Sugar Free, as Aspire's just jostling the payload. The Pulse Bomb in his hand. Same with Proper though. Pulse to Pulse, EMP for EMP potentially. Nice little hack on Aspire, but he's got two supports right behind him, so he's going to be all right for the time being. EMP hits two. Finn and Jumpin all pretty low. In fact, Jumpin just gets focused down. A return EMP does end Aspire's life, but a perfectly timed nano onto Punk is going to make sure he stays alive in the fight and deal some extra damage with Aspire dead. A coalescence now from Finn in that small room, and a hack onto Punk will send him reeling. Just blow for blow right now. Just a slugfest of Optimus on this point.
Yeah, it is going to be sort of a reset for both teams, though I don't know if anyone's going to be able to make decisive progress off that. A couple little mistakes. And what I was going to say, though, is that this comp does lack a bit in terms of healing for Tracer. The Brig is such a master at healing Tracer. Kiriko, you can heal Tracer, of course, but you have to like be focused on that.
Okay, all right. The Spy got scammed on that one. That looked like a connection to me. I mean, where's the damage? Where is my damage right now?
Beautiful.
I mean, Proper dead, Nissan gone. I mean, nice prime from Punk is going to isolate the supports. A stick and a death. But it shouldn't mean all too much. I mean, Punk can come back pretty quickly, and this ball is making some decent progress.
If they get the cap here, this map is looking really rough. We have
Sounds
seen some
here.
more comebacks on push recently, but I maintain that you should be like 95% to win if you get this cap. I think just where Crimso's position is so annoying, but Shark gonna stall it out. I like this decision a lot. Do not give up this flip for free, especially with Punk still on the respawn.
I mean, they have Primal too, so if they really desperately wanted to stall it, they could do. All good.
Crucial fight for Shark though. They have to win this and stabilize.
Nice flail.
Oh, Jumbin's feeling bad about
Jumping
this
back.
one.
He's feeling rough, but now he's got a rally and bring it in front of his face. The IMAX has been deployed. But same with the road. I mean, Vindime laying down that Kitsune rush. It's going to aid in those cooldowns getting reset quickly, but Jumpin's not really doing much right now, just trying to stagger out the bot a little bit. Titans need to be removed from this high ground though, Jake.
Titans are doing fantastic at tiki-takaing the car. Moira EMP down. Cole not going to be able to come out. Jumpin, is he going to commit the Primal? This is a rough fight.
I mean, Vindime's dead. There's no shot he commits the prime right here, right? I mean, Probin picks up 1 kill. No, okay, he's gone. And he doesn't use the ult.
That's the cap,
But
and
that is cap, Jake. Look how close they are. I mean, a couple of meters, if that. There's no touches here for the San Francisco shot.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's even worth for Proper to pop a recall here. This might be extra progress too, but that first meter after the cap, almost as crucial as the cap itself, because, you know, should the enemy bring it back to your side, it means you win that one fight. EMP though, coming on this back line,
You gotta know
this
if you're
could be
Fate.
a huge dive. It's tough for Fate to
Peer
avoid.
into the crystal ball. You've got to know that the EMP is on its way. Crimso's on the high ground too. If they both get naded, it could be disastrous. EMP deployed. Crimso and Faith in trouble. Proper's there with the instant follow-up. Punk tried to see his way into the fights, but he sees his way swiftly out after that coalescence and pulse bomb but in his direction.
In the melee, while we were talking about that dive, I think Vancouver, they do make a little bit of extra progress. So honestly, Titans, I think you're feeling pretty good about that. Like, you got 3 crucial diving ults out. You got extra progress after the cap. As long as Aspire doesn't die here, this would be a really bad death if he goes down. I think he'll be okay.
Should be good. Yeah, okay. Double blink. No way he's going to chase. And they're already back.
Leads almost ours. I disagree with that assessment, Sandra.
I disagree.
The voice line was wrong.
28 meters in push on Esperanza. Yeah, there's no way. Missleap there from Crimson. All good though. Still has the Nano with that hacked health pack. It's going to be a good source of healing if they need it. Nano boost onto Punk. Dives straight back in. Supports. He's looking for it, but he can't quite see them just yet. I saw Finn fade somewhere.
Bro, where are they? It's like, yo, where's my Moira?
high
Moira,
ground.
what are you doing in the back line? Heal me, bro.
She's, oh, look at Moira, look at
She
Finn.
looped back around.
She's
did the
looped and Vindime's
360.
in trouble. Had to Suzu herself as Punk is tearing the front line to mincemeat. Has the ultimate, he really needs to use it, and there's the EMP. But Punk's already dead. Is there follow-up now? Aspire's hit the recall. Can't go in again. He even missed that pulse bomb. A couple of key ultimates now lost with the Vancouver Titans.
That's a huge fight. Punk not primaling there. I think a pretty big error. Just thought he was going to get healed enough, but there was too much damage pressure coming in. And these kills come in
these kills are
really
nice.
late. Oh, Shock, they might be bringing it back right here.
Another kill would be golden. Jump in? No, he's going to side against it, and checkpoint has been unlocked. There you go, an extra 5 meters was awarded to Titans on their push. Shock should take the lead now.
You're walking back into an EMP. Are you going to touch? Oh, I want to. Oh, early EMP.
Backline. Faith was already rallying, but Crimso's dead. So's Faith.
Oh,
Backline down for the
Shock
Titans.
is going to get a huge lead off this fight. Crucial Titans. They after some good kind of falling apart at the seams. The aggression is up to a new level for the Shock. They're kind of finding their tempo, and now Faith and Crimso are really reeling. The ults are snowballing one after the other, and I mean, this can be something very difficult to come back from. Punk has been sitting on this Primal Rage forever, 3 fights or something. I mean, that's really bad. Like, you need to be cycling this ultimate. Big nade though on defense. Maybe that's something.
He can fade if he really wants to. So he's good. Coalescence available at 5% too. Looking rough for the Titans. They've got not much in their bank apart from that Primal Rage, which has aged quite a bit at this point. It's turning into a vintage.
Aged like a fine wine, or
I don't know. It
maybe
looks like
not.
cheese right now, left out in the sun for a couple of days, I think, Jake. That Coalescence not doing all too much, but buying space and time. Proper finding his way out of that fight after hitting that recall. Still has the pulse bomb, but I mean, the Shock, if you're the Shock right now, Jake, you're pretty happy with this. 84 meters.
You need a pick right now for the Shock though, or you really, really want to just make this not clean. A clean fight is exactly what the Titans needed, and they did it with very minimal ultimate commitments. It's going to be like a lot of extra stall here for, he's saying that might get you your forward spawn from Proper. You're feeling all right about that. But big ultimates coming up for the Titans here. Shock, they've got some things, but you know, not really the ults you want coming into a big ult bank, right? There's great counters for the Titans. I want to see a fast EMP from Sugar Free. Take the tempo like Shock's been doing to you. Could be right here, very close.
EMP Nano Winton, EMP hits, but no, Vin fades out the way, and Vindime's more than safe. EMP wears off, he just teleports away. That EMP doing nothing for the Titans at all in that fight. And now the Shock are just rounding up on one of their own. They've got a lot of ults to spare. Okay, Punk, he's hit the prime. What's it going to be? He's trying to kill two supports to have incredible evasive maneuvers. Finn is still trapped in this room, no? Fade's coming up in a couple of seconds. Is he going to be able to take him down? Punk is buying time for his team, yes, but is it going to be enough? Jump in low, literally 1 HP, couldn't be lower. A nano onto Faith, should be good though. Finn finally taken down. It was all up to Faith, baby. Just give him the nano, and then he's all good.
Great pickups there for the Titans. Again, another clean fight. Yes, it cost them a lot in terms of ultimates, but this is what you need to be doing as the Titans. It's okay to commit ults. You just cannot be losing players where you're going to have to wait for your spawns. It's going to kill your tempo. This is really the moment for Titans. They need to retake the lead. If Shock gets back in control of this game, it's going to be such a tough overtime for the Titans. And they've got an EMP, which has worked really well for them.
Already has. There's the EMP, perfectly placed. Punk and Aspire, no abilities, no health, and no nothing. 40 seconds to go. Shock want to take this to a map number 5, Jake. And, well, with only one ultimate used, they've got the Cole and the Pulse for next.
Are the Titans getting the forward spawn? Anna, it's so close. Okay, they all get forward spawn. That's going to help, but this is a really rough position on the map to be in. He's saying getting forced out. That's a big deal, though. Gets a little bit more space. You know the dive's not coming in for at least a couple seconds.
Faith with that rally, and Proper's got the perfect answer to it, that Pulse bomb. If Faith goes down here with this rally, it will be all over for the Titans, you'd imagine. 10 seconds to go, overtime fight approaching.
Such a safe position for Crimzo, but he's getting flanked by Heesang.
There it is, there's the rally, Proper potentially looking, there's the dive, the coalescence is good, but a nice self-nade on Crimzo keeps himself and Faith alive. The bot still needs to be contested, so it might be a 4v5 off of the point right now. Proper looking, searching, hunting, can't quite find it. He's got the patience of a Saint, but even a Saint can't land that pulse bomb, not with Punk in the way, that's for sure. Aspire forced away, EMP's good, jump in is so low, that Suzu not enough to save him, but both Winstons have been traded. A 4-on-4, but a nice sleep from Crimzo again, ends Finn's life. Titans are coming back, 66 meters to 84, but they need to be perfect now.
Titans, they cannot lose a player right now. Aspire dropping low, taking damage.
He's good. He's got two supports at his back, Jake. He's going to be fine for the time being, but Punk's going to have to get back. They've got Primal, they've got Pulse, and a Nano coming up.
This is a very good fight here for the Titans. They want to take it early.
Good stick! Doesn't matter.
Gets
Finn,
flanked.
Finn is down! But no, Faith is dead. The Nano boost comes out, but it's on Aspire. The one solo man to try and carry this now, but Vindime with a beautiful flank. There's so much Punk has to deal with now. He's been hacked in the Primal race, so he's just a living orb battery, and they still need to contest the point. The row comes through for Vindime, and the Vancouver Titans are going to be felled. A map number 5 on the card to Shock take Esperanza.
Oh, by just an inch there. That pulse bomb taking out Punk in the previous fight, so he's not there, not ready to seize that tempo away. And I think the Titans are going to be kicking themselves for losing with what was a pretty big lead there earlier on in the game. I think the EMP's really looking better for Heesang than Sugar Free. I think that's the strength, really, of this Moira Kiriko comp. It's so hard to EMP them. It's so hard to catch them ever. They both have potential instant counters. It's just up to your skill as a support player. You could just dodge or cancel out the EMP every single time. And so far, just Sugar Free had too much trouble actually landing it there.
I mean, there was one EMP on that bridge where it was literally fading away as the EMP came out. Vindime dropped to the floor. Pack wore off. He Suzu'd, Swiss step, like everything. He's got so many tools and chose to the rest of the team, like he rightfully pointed out. Going back to control, Jake, I mean, Shock, they won the previous one 2-0. A map 5 banger. This is the knockouts, everybody. Whoever loses here goes home. No chance of being in the mid-season maps.
Yeah, the question is, does Shock have more tricks hidden away up their sleeve for the last Koth round? I wonder what we'll see Titans pick.
Yeah, Titans are up there to pick now, so where are we going to go? Not sure, but they've got to make sure it's not a repeat of map number 1. We're going to go to a break. Don't go anywhere. Map 5 banger coming up soon. summoning circle worked at the top of the show. If you didn't see it, go back and watch the top of the show. It was a good time. Bangers only. Bangers only. 2-2. The Titans are taking shock. Well, the Shock, sorry, are taking Titans all the way after that win on Esperanza. It is going to be Titans now choosing the map, and they have chosen to go to Oasis.
I spied a 9K in the player cam. Hi, 9K. He's not watching. He's watching the feed, the coach dugout. I wonder how Shock's feeling right now. I mean, I think they're probably feeling pretty good after that Esperanza win. I think it's a great style for them to bring out the Kiriko Mora. It really favors their highly individualistic skill set, where they haven't looked as good in like some of these team coordination situations, but individually we know they're incredibly strong. And I like the Mora Kiriko. I don't think it's like, I don't like it when you're playing with Ramatra on the low ground on Blizzard World, but I really like it in the Tracer Sombra dive mirror. I think it's so difficult for Sugar Free on that Sombra to find good EMPs. I mean, as Moira and Kiriko, right, you have an instant save, so sure, you can get EMP, but it's like a 50-50 if you're just fast enough to fade, and these are some of the best players in the world, so you know they're going to be hitting those reactions pretty consistently.
All right.
Oh no, Punk.
The cheese.
Punk? Is this going to get a wrist mirror? Please, please.
Maybe Shock
Oh, it's stinky. Oh my god, are they going to get countered? Their own cheese used against them? Oh my goodness, goodness.
The City Center was the one you told me in the break that would be the coin flip here, and we are going to it first.
This is a
okay,
spicy
alrighty. Punk actually going with the Orisa, jumping on the Queen.
Sugar Free on Sombra. I have not seen this Orisa con before. This is a wonky one. Honestly, without the Mei, I'm not as confident in the Orisa. Maybe it's a hero who can hold the point very well and has a good matchup against Junker Queen. Just being able to spear that Axe Way. You can even spear, cancel the ultimate, so it's a play we'll be looking out for as the round goes later. But proper on this Sojourn, what this guy did in playoffs last season was remarkable, so...
Heal Punk!
Dude, it's scary being Punk, man. There's so much pressure on him here.
No, such an easy head hitbox too, and you can take some pop shots if you're proper. Pop shots he does, like a 4-ton tumbleweed. The Shock are just running over the Vancouver Titans. Jumpin just taking a clean axe swing, leaving Punk's head clean off. That'll be the first fight win.
Honestly, I'm not really loving the comp from Titans. Okay, over to the Ram, but the Reaper to me, okay, yeah, switching off Reaper. Yeah, Reaper, maybe it feels like they were hoping to run up against the Winston here. They were hoping to have like kind of a tricky cheese for that. So they're going to be going back over to a more standard comp. This is a comp I like. I think against Queen, you have a lot of just face pressure on her, and it's hard for her to close that gap onto your Ramatra. But Shock have point control, and they're going to be feeling really good about that. Unless Spire can open it up here. He's uncontested.
He's looking, now Proper's finally contesting him, looking at him, but Punk's behind a wall. His supports are off to his left-hand side for the time being, so he's receiving the healing required to actually stay on the point. But City Center, yeah, this is going to get sorted out to 99%. Watch this. Oh, pretty low. Oh, early Suzu usage, okay. Okay, you can kind of take that to the bank if you're the Titans right now, but you haven't got an anti-nade to kind of capitalize on it with and jump in. Already found the flank, but a nice rotation from both teams. And now Punk just in the eye of the storm right now. There's no shot he gets out of this one alive. Another nice wall from Hisang will end his life rather swiftly. And the coalescence from Crimzo, not going to do much here, Jake. 55% of building, it's just the staggered members of the Vancouver Titans trying to either get out or just go down.
Titans, they've got to reset out of this one. Crimzo in trouble, is going to most likely escape. Okay, but Shock, they're so difficult to evict from the point that when things really look bad, I mean, that's when Junmin is really just charging in. He's showing great patience, great skill on this Queen, finding the timing. It's very easy to waste the shot, but so far, we haven't seen that from him. He's had great poise on that hero, and now the overclock is ready to come online.
There's the beats as well from Faith and Vindime. There's the overclock beat from Titans to make sure Prop doesn't insta-kill anybody, but they got a beat of their own. Nice rampage from Jumpin, waiting for some of that overhealth to disappear from the sound barrier and then ending Aspire's life rather quickly. And now the Titans are just going to get stalled out. We're on last fight territory. Hisang is dead. In fact, they've kind of evened this one up, but it's all on Proper. Diving straight to the backline. Crimzo's in trouble, and Fate beats his demise. The Vancouver Titans completely shut out of this point. I mean, it's only Punk right now on it within Annihilation. They do kill Jumpin, but this point is so stallable.
It's only supports and Proper, though. This fight can go either way. One quick railhead shot.
So use nice, easy pulse from Sugar Free. The Titans are going to come back from this one. Pulled a little bit too soon. Not a shutout at all. They open that door wide open with that pulse bomb.
It does cost them everything, though. I mean, they do have Coalescence, but you're coming up against Kitsune and the Blizzard from Hisang. I don't know. This might be too tall an order for Titans. I think they just have to get super aggressive with this Cole and burst somebody down, like shut down Proper before the fight, shut down Vindame, these guys without, you know, hard self-saves. But they know they know that's coming. So really, if this Kiriko comes out without a hitch, I'm worried for the Titans. It's going to be a hard point to hold here without much more in the tank.
The benefit, at least you got the Lucio, maybe speed away from the Blizzard, speed away from the Rush, but look at this. Shock just taking it to it. There's the Rush. Coalescence is good though, as Proper ends up going down. Main source of damage now from the shot is lost. But no, I mean, Jumpin's still standing. He's still punching, just trying to get Titans to force anything out of them. Little do they know, they've got no ults left.
Wait,
even at Blizzard being thrown in from Heesang, they are committing to this wholeheartedly. They are forcing the Titans off the point, but they got no damage. Where's the damage?
Yeah, that is a weird commitment. I mean, after you lost Proper, the Kitsune Rush is almost out. Is Heesang going to swap off the Mei? I mean, that would make more sense to me. Maybe the Mei is also pretty hard, to be fair. There's not a good place to wall on that map, right? We saw on the Heesang Kim, he's walking out, but there's no point in throwing down your mail. The Faith is going to speed boost Punk out of it, and you don't really have a wall that can actually, you know, trap him into a corner. And now, Titans might have been over the hump. Still, though, again, it's another Proper overclock. Faith has 10% to feed. This is a window right here.
Uh-oh, there it is. Shield from Punk and even Nemesis form 2. The zone is good. Sound barriers from both teams, and Punk just taking so much damage, has to hold up his arms. Annihilations from both two. Goes Proper leaves the back line. He does manage to find one, but Faith cleans him. The Vancouver Titans still alive and kicking. Overtime in session almost for the Titans, only 10% away, but they have to wait for Crimson to get back in order to sustain themselves through this fight.
It's anybody who can take this right here.
Nemesis form, a good stick, 30 health, now 0. Punk gets taken down, a huge stick from Heesang. The Shock, they cap. Overtime, whittling down as Crimson is back and maybe has a coalescence on him.
Aspire has to save this, but it's
he's
so
on
challenging.
Genji, there's no shot now, eh?
Genji, he's back, bro.
Aspire, Crimson dead, the San Francisco Shock. They're not gonna go down without a fight. 99%. Titans managed to get it all the way back in their favor, but it's gonna be the San Francisco Shock that are gonna close out this round. 1 round away from knocking the Titans out of the bracket.
Yeah, and Shock, I think, winning this round mostly off the back of a great gamble fight in the first point. Honestly, on that mid fight, I think Titans comp was a little too zany. It's like, okay, sure, that could be like really good against a very specific Winston comp that came out on the last map, but Shock have shown us a ton of different looks. I don't think you can really go into a round thinking we're gonna hard counter one thing and just like win a gamble. I don't love that from Titans, but they almost brought that back, and Shock kind of flubbed a few things, so I think Titans, they're very much still alive in this map. Anybody could take this, and this is a map that's going to be kind of a repeat of Havana, at least in terms of the comps. Although Shock, all right, I don't think Shock's Orisa stuff is going to be any good against Ramacho. I think you're going to get rolled by Ramacho, so maybe they're trading off bad rollouts on Koth. Maybe Jumbo will prove me wrong.
They've got a round to give, Jay.
Yeah,
got a round to give. Faith, boom.
Faith.
Oh, wait.
Is that Mei?
He got the Mei!
Oh,
but good time for the
no
Mei
Mei,
too!
no Mei
All
allowed.
good, it's a 4v4 now. We're on Overwatch 3. Faith trying to find another boot. Maybe Vindime's checking it.
They know. Like,
No shot, he gets
back.
another one. All fine.
that is funny. Both Meis going down. Proper has the opportunity to find some logs here, but I think Titans, they're very wary of him on this Hanzo. They know the threat he poses. Aspire, again, onto his comfort pick soldier. Wait, Junmin's going to the back line? Hold on, what is going on here?
Okay, Finn just gets railgun headshot.
Junmin, where are you, bro?
I don't really know. Oh, okay, him and his Mei switch sides. A little bit of confusion there from the San Francisco Shock.
You know, I don't hate it from Junmin because you actually can't really win a straight-up battle against Ramatra. It's just a better hero at like brawling in the front line with the multiple cooldowns you can cycle. So maybe Junmin just thinking he's got to get some kind of pick to win that. You know, now that I see it from that perspective, okay, like I don't mind it. But Titans win the first fight. They don't need to make any swaps, and now they're in control. Wait a minute.
Oh my god.
Proper
is so lucky he didn't get booped. And Faith ends up going down. He is the victim of that story, unfortunately. All right, Punk on the point, trying to stall out for as long as possible.
He dropped into the pit for the Mega because he was isolated, but now, I mean, Shock just instantly changes targets onto the rest of the team. Punk gonna head back to spawn and reset here. So it's a great open air to take down that enemy frontliner, right? And you just, okay, we just like swarm over you. So Shock still very much in potential to win this, but Aspire mostly gonna be uncontested on the soldier. No back long range hit scan for Shock. They're relying fully on this hard rush.
Punk's already pretty low, so gotta be careful, at least for the time being. There's the coalescence. Orbital Cole, straight to the back line. Go the San Francisco Shock. against Crimzo's Lab did not stand a chance. It'd be nice if Vancouver Titans found a pick here, but it's quite unlikely. As Punk does use the Annihilation to try and get out of this one, but he gets booted, isolated by... Okay, he's just standing... Okay, jump in.
Shoot him in the butt.
Okay, someone said that. Someone said 40% for the shock now. As the Blizzard Annihilation was used, the Titans just threw 2 huge ultimates into that fight, Jake, and got nothing.
Yeah, and when you lose to Baptiste, you really run out of steam with Titans comp. You are kind of vulnerable to the all-in rush. Baptiste has to be very careful. And he got great awareness.
Okay, he's still got it though. I mean, the wall comes up, straight into proper slab. They even send out a sound barrier to make sure he doesn't end up going down. Savage is shot with a completely different tempo than what Titans are expecting.
Yeah, this is how you got to play when you're going to run the Mara and the Reaper. You don't have a back hit scan to like rely on for picks. You're just playing very, very fast tempo. But Shock, they look better at this tempo. They know exactly what they're doing. When you just 5-man send it, it's a little bit more straightforward to play. Titans, they need to find some kind of response. There's going to be another rush.
Yeah, one fight as well, 80% on the board. The Shock might take this series if the Vancouver Titans aren't careful. Every ult being thrown in here by the Titans, the sound barrier, the window, the overclock. Everything they had was used to try and win that fight, and win it they do, but I mean the Shock, they also use their Annihilation, yes, but they're approaching a Blizzard, approaching a Coalescence, and on a point like this, it's so easy to get value from those ults.
Yeah, and one of the advantages of these extremely high tempo comps that the Shock is running is that it's very hard to keep track of their ults. Like, you might expect Cole, but are you really expecting the next Blizzard to be up? You might not. You might have lost track of that, so it's understandable here. Titans could make a mistake, and they really only have Sugar Free's Blizzard, but it's 25% away. That's a long gap to close.
It is, and Heesang is a little bit further, or closer to, I should say. Nice wall. Fade over it from Finn, though. There's the Coalescence, keeping Jumpin alive, and the Blizzard thrown out onto the backline. The Vancouver Titans, and Punk's already dead. The San Francisco Shock only have 8% to go as soon as they cap. A counter Blizzard from the Titans is good, though. Both Ramatras down. It's all on the DPS. Aspire versus Proper. Who can come up with the kills first? Aspire just diving in onto the point to try and find value, but Proper just shuts him down. And the Shock managed to cap a wall up for Sugar Free, but they've just walled themselves out of mid-season madness as the Punk, he tries to get back. He's got the Annihilation, he's got a little bit of healing, but it's so easy for the Shock now to try and pick people off.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Death Blossom though, it's all good as Jumpin manages to take down Punk. It's a trade, it's good for the Vancouver Titans, but is it going to be good enough?
I think
Jumpin takes a massive headshot from Aspire, who's near the overclock. Faith and Aspire have managed to claw themselves back into this fight as the Vancouver Titans take control back.
All right, Titans, they've got to stay calm here. This is a crucial final fight. Proper switches over to the Genji. He does have a sound barrier from Vindame to potentially help him, but they might have the desperation touch here. I mean, you don't have a good setup, and so many great ults for the Titans. Aspire, his overclock is going to be so deadly when Vindame's beat wears off.
Sound barrier for sound barrier to this overclock could be giant for the Vancouver Titans to keep themselves in this one. The Shock only need this one fight. It is going to be a window straight in front of Aspire. Those overclock shots one-shotting Junbin. Vindame's chasing Aspire away, but now he just has the high ground. Vindame's still trying to check him, but Faith playing point guard. Aspire still alive. Punk attempting to stay up on the point to try and contest it. As the San Francisco Shock do manage to rout Faith and Punk. How have they managed to do this? But Sugar Free with a stink. Finn, can he stay alive? The Blizzard is good. Finn does end up going down to the skill ult, but it's a 2v2 on the point with almost no heals. Aspire ends up falling. Just Crimzo, the last stand for the Titans to try and see themselves in this one, and they still have a touch.
Punk, he's back onto the point. He's going to try and fight this up, but there's no heals. He's isolated.
Annihilation's going to be too good. Punk ends up going down to the Shock, looking to cap. Overtime ticking. Sugar Free is back. Crimzo on the high ground, but is it enough? Surely it is. Sugar Free and Heesang end up trading, but Aspire's dead. No DPS for the Titans now as Punk is going to rejoin the fight in just a moment's notice. Crimzo had to fade out to get away from the fight as Faith gets a final touch, but now Punk putting up his block. He's going to have a mega punch, but I think that's about it. Punches Proper into the wall, but no stun, no kill, and no heals. Faith, the last one on the point. He eventually gets cut down as Sugar Free comes back into the fight yet again, but it is now just on Aspire. But there is no touch, there is no hope, and the San Francisco Shock are going to knock Titans out of the brackets.
What an incredible series. Time and time again, Titans fought back from the brink on that last map, but it wasn't enough. Shock with that aggressive rushing style looked really, really solid on them. They felt like maybe they finally found their niche there, but I mean, what an incredible series from both teams. I think really no one can be ashamed of their performance here. Everybody putting up huge numbers, huge plays. You can't ask for better Overwatch than that.
Yeah, we were promised bangers and we got them. 2 and 2 go into a map number 5 in the San Francisco Shock just at the very end. So many hero plays as well, Jake, like Sugar Free landing a pulse bomb at the clutch moments. They were able to flip it back their way, got to 99%, but it was all for naught in the end in the San Francisco Shock. You know, maybe the doubters have been silenced at this point, but the Vancouver Titans, formidable opponents in this bracket.
Yeah, I really think Shock, I don't think they're going to be too confident going on in the future. I think they did show a ton of different looks, and one thing we've been harping on them on, they did not switch their tank this series. It was Junbin front to back, confidence, trust in him, which I think it looked better for them. I think they looked more in sync. Playing those hard rush comps, your 5-man running it down mid, you need to kind of like know what you're all doing. Everyone needs to be on the same page, get on the same target, and that's just easier to do when you're sticking with the same players and you know, building confidence in them.
I'm curious if the Shock continue with Jumpin in the roster, because it's looking good. Even after going down 2 maps and Vancouver Titans being on match point, they still managed to claw it back. And with the help of one man on your screen right now, Hisang is going to be player of the match.
I can't disagree with this. He was such a crucial performer for the team. The EMPs on Esperanza really sealed the deal. I mean, that was a very close map, and it was his EMPs that constantly got Shock either out of bad situations or into the lead. So I like this as well. That Echo pick coming back to just that very first map really secured it for them, started the series off on a good foot, and you have to think, you know, if Shock didn't do so well in that first map, we could have seen a very different series, could have been a 3-0. So really well played by Hisang, definitely deserves this player of the match. Rare to outshine his teammate in Proper.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look at these Sombra stats too.
God,
1.1.
he does not die.
Yeah, 1.1 death. Over 19 minutes, mind you, on Sombra. Doesn't die, decent amount of damage, and enemies EMP looking good too. I mean, like you said, Jake, the EMPs were fantastic, and the flexibility from Hisang there as well is also super sick, and you need that in this meta. There's so many DPSs that are swapping backwards and forwards, but being able to fill holes where the Shock need them, especially when Proper needs to be on something like a Hanzo or a Tracer. I mean, Hisang looked great this series, and yeah, a map 5. I hope the games continue this way. We're going to jump to a quick break though. Do not go anywhere. Another match coming up soon after the desk. Break that one down.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Zoe here, joined by Danny and by Jonathan, and that was so far away, but always close in our heart. That was actually that was intense. That was a lot more intense than I. Is that what you wanted?
No,
that was a weird.
Because you messed up the fingers. It wasn't clean.
My two of my fingers went in. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
We practice. We're learning.
Some viewers are gonna be like mad disappointed Jake's not here. Just like, no, Jake! Where is Jake?
Let him eat. Let him eat. Yeah, don't worry, guys. If Avery's gonna be back. For now, it's just the three of us, and a great match to break down. Good whole time.
True.
Yeah, who needs the new guys anyway?
Yeah, back to the old members.
Yeah, speaking of old members, San Francisco Shock back to former form. Not quite yet, but they got the W, but it went the distance. I mean, that was a back and forth. Vancouver Titans certainly made them fight for it. So once more, of course, a reminder to everyone watching, Vancouver Titans are officially out. They are in the lower bracket of our knockout stages, and that is the elimination bracket. So they unfortunately will not be joining anyone for the mid-season madness, but they will continue to live on in our hearts.
They will join London, Valiant, and Vegas.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, but Vancouver, they were, throughout all the matches that we've seen so far, I think they were one of the teams that impressed all of us the most. And definitely, they definitely didn't go down without a fight. I think this honestly could have went either way. I think San Francisco Shock was a little bit better and sometimes a little bit luckier in certain team fights, and that's how San Francisco Shock won. But I think Vancouver Titans, nonetheless, are a great team. I'm very excited to see more from them later on in the season.
Yeah, and you pointed this out, Danny. They didn't play Max.
Right?
True.
They didn't play Max.
We were talking about it.
How long have I been asking for this?
Is this the first time that we only saw one tank player for the whole match for San Francisco Shock? And we were like, is that? I don't know, but I think it was.
He scared us regardless, rocking up on the first map on Orisa.
Yeah.
It worked out too.
It did work out. And then Vancouver were like, hey, they were kind of cooking. You guys want to pull this out on Oasis? They were kind of cooking with that. Credit to Boston as well. I mean, they did it last week as well with Smurf playing Orisa. But look, as much as I meme about the Max thing, Max is a really good player.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't found his groove with the San Francisco Shock so far. So looking forward to see more of Max later. But for now, Junbin feels like the superior tank for this lineup specifically. It did get awkwardly close, as you said, Zoe. I mean,
it was a team fight away. It could have gone either way. So it was a really intense match. Again, congratulations, of course, to San Francisco Shock. They will now wait in the lower bracket, and they will play the loser of Gladiators or Florida.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a continuous uphill battle for the San Francisco Shock. Do they look improved enough to take on those teams, Jonathan?
I think they have their moments. I mean, Heesang got player of the match in this series. I still think Heesang had some really questionable moments throughout this series, but especially the last two maps for Shock to close out the series, Heesang did look good, right? Proper, he was halfway to a deadlift on Havana, for example. He had 50% of the team's final blow, so it looked really good. You see the bracket here, as you said, so we'll be playing the loser of LA Gladiators and Florida Mayhem. But Shock still, it was a bit too close for comfort, right? Vindime still on the Lucio looks a bit uncomfortable at times. There were some questionable sound barriers. We heard Jake in the cast just like, nice beta. But still, I mean, if this is the Shock, this is not their true potential. Yeah. They should not be playing to map 5 against the Vancouver Titans. They should have closed this series out earlier. So I still think for the Shock, there are a few things to iron out for them to hit their full stride. And they need to do that before tomorrow if they want to qualify for the mid-season.
I think, but for sure, they are improving little by little. I think our worries are getting less, and there are worries, but if it was this much at the beginning of the season, now they're sort of lowering it. But I think going up against either Florida Mayhem and Gladiator, I'm honestly gonna say it's gonna be a tough battle for them, for the Shock.
Well, let's hear it from them themselves, as we do, of course, have a winner's interview with Danny and I believe Vindime.
That is true. We have a post-match interview with none other than Vindime from San Francisco Shock. Vindime, hello. Vindime 선수 안녕하세요.
네. 안녕하세요.
All right, so let's just start off this interview by asking you, I just want to get your thoughts on this match because everything was on the line. You guys played it really close, but you guys were able to beat the Vancouver Titans. So how do you feel? 일단 인터뷰를 시작할 첫 번째 질문으로 오늘 경기 아무래도 지금 모든 게 걸린 상황에서 오늘 지면은 다 끝나는 거였잖아요. 하지만 또 다행히 이기셔서 이제 좀 더 한 단계 더 이제 미드 시즌을 위해서 나가시게 되셨는데 지금 심정 어떠신가요? 지금 기분 어떠신가요?
일단 이어서 기분은 좋고요. 근데 좋지 않은 경기력이었던 것 같아서 뭔가 애매해요.
I'm happy. I'm sort of happy that we won, but I don't know if I'm happy overall in general because I wasn't too satisfied with our performance. So I'm in sort of the middle ground where I'm happy because we won, but we could have played better. In what aspect do you say that you weren't really satisfied with your performance? Would you say? 방금 이제 빈담 선수가 좀 우리 오늘 좀 못했던 것 같다라는 말씀을 좀 하셨는데 좀 어느 부분에서 좀 그런 생각이 좀 드셨나요?
막 개인적 혼자만의 막 실수 같은 것보다 약간 팀적으로 맞춰야 될 부분을 안 맞춘 것 같아가지고 그게 좀 아쉬운 것 같아요.
It's not so much about personal or individual player mistakes. It was more on the team aspect. Our team, as in general, our team in overall generally just made a lot of mistakes, and I think that was that I wasn't satisfied with. Hey, but you guys still got the win, so I think you guys are still the better team at the end of the day. 방금 그렇게 말씀을 하셔도 이겼기 때문에 그래도 오늘 더 잘하시지 않으셨나 생각을 합니다. 저는 개인적으로. Alright, my next question for you is, of course, because you guys won this round, you guys are going to be facing the loser of Gladiators or Florida Mayhem. I want to get your thoughts on who do you think you're going to be facing off against tomorrow. 자, 다음 질문으로 오늘 승리를 거두셨기 때문에 내일 경기 글래디 대 플로리다에서 진 팀과 경기를 하시게 되실 텐데요. 누구와 경기를 하실 것 같으신가요, 빈다임 선수?
솔직히 누가 이길지는 잘 모르겠고 그 글래디의 스매시 코치라고 있는데 오트 때 같은 팀이었어가지고 한번 만나보고 싶긴 해요.
I can't really say who's going to win that match, but I do want to face off against the Gladiators because Smash, who's the coach of Gladiators, was on the O2 with me, so I want to play against the Gladiators. All right, Vindam, that is it for the interview. Thank you so much for your time, and again, big congratulations on the win. 자, 승리 축하드리면서 내일 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Johnny and Vindame, we heard it here from the San Francisco Shock. Cleanup work to do,
right.
Not happy with the overall performance as a team, made a lot of mistakes. Would you agree with that assessment?
I mean, I think it's being harsh on the team aspect of things. And also, like, you can't be a perfectionist here in this stage of play. Because you just have to go in and just, like, perform. Like, just play to the highest pace you can, to the highest level you can. You can't sit there and just be like, oh, we messed up here, we messed up with this, and, like, overthink things. Just, like, go in there and perform. So, yeah, I mean, I'll say this. Credit to Vindime for that final Oasis stage, where he actually got the boop on May to kick things off. And then also the way he guarded a Spire on the Sojourn, contested a Sojourn as many times as a Lucio player. That is difficult to do. So I'll give credit to Vindime there, It was a good instinctive play from him.
That's good. Support. That's very early. Support the San Francisco Shock as they continue on their journey in knockout brackets. And of course, you too can support your favorite teams rocking their team jerseys. They're on sale right now, up to 20%, in fact. That's right, 20%. That's more than 18%. Really good at math here. Just throwing it out there.
Less than 21%.
That is correct, but we're looking at the cup half full here, Danny.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
But Overwatch League, shop.overwatchleague.com. That's where you can find them. And now we are heading, of course, into our next match. New York Excelsior. They will be going up against the Toronto Defiant. And this is going to be an interesting one because I honestly very much struggle to really come up with the identity of both of those teams, especially Toronto Defiant, who are still having a lot of questions about who are they? Like, what is the actual...
Who are you?